Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, and yes, it is an awesome day, even though I wasn't feeling like it a few minutes ago. Let me just talk to you about something. I'm gonna be a little vulnerable today. You ever have those times where you meet people and you just think like everything is going for them, that they're just I'm gonna move my chair up a bit so that I can look a little more eye level. But anyways, you have those times where you meet people or you know people or have friends. It just seems like they always have everything together. They're traveling, they're just always seem happy. They are like seem like they have the perfect family. And you just kind of feel like blah. you just you're going like why can't I do that? Why can't I be so motivated? Why can't I achieve greatness? And this goes back to what we talked about last week, that it's okay to just be you. You don't have to do things that other people are doing. Now, you may want to do those, but try not to compare yourself. Everybody's in a different stage in life. And trust me, one thing I've learned is no matter what, people are struggling. They have their own unique individual struggles. And so as I was going through some Facebook stuff, and I have a really good friend of mine that it just seems like they're always the perfect family. Everything is great, and nothing ever goes wrong. And they're traveling here, the business is growing well, and it's just like, why can't it happen to me? But then I stepped back and I said, no, they've got their unique struggles. I don't know exactly what those are, but everybody has their struggles. And it's just what we do in life with what we're given is what really matters. Sometimes it's very difficult to do that. Sometimes it's actually very difficult to keep going when you just feel like all hell is broken loose. You just look at around and you're like, oh, nothing's working. Business isn't going well, or, just whatever it is, it just seems like nothing is going your way. But it's okay. Life ebbs and flows. You have the really good and you have sometimes the bad. But it's what you do with it. And I have to constantly remind myself, I love that saying by Tony Robbins, that life happens for us, not to us. And every time I start thinking about it, getting in kind of this dumpy area or getting frustrated, I just remember that saying. It is so, so important. Don't worry about other people. Don't worry about their successes. Sometimes it's easier said than done, but it's true. Because we can't compare ourselves with them, because they're in a different situation. No matter what in life, we can achieve more. We have to maybe work harder. We have to probably even fight harder to do something or learn something that really is easy for other people but extremely difficult for yourself. No matter what it is, you can do it. You have that ability. And if you don't have that ability to do that one thing, work on improving the thing that you have the most, that strength you have the most. I've got something I don't have a whiteboard. I need to get me a whiteboard in here. But something I've been working on really recently is our ability to focus. Now in life, so in life, we're just going to say this line right here. This represents our mediocre. This is average. This is where we're at. And in life, we have these areas where we may be really, really good at something, just exceptional. But then we're not so good in some other areas. We're told to kind of a lie in our life that I feel like, at least in some aspect, we're told to focus on those weaknesses and improve them and make them stronger. I'm going to say bull. I'm going to say you don't focus on the weakness. I say you focus on the strength. And the reason I say that is the more you focus on the strength, that just makes you that much stronger in that area that you can help more people. If you're focusing on down here in this area, and as you're trying to focus, you're actually not focusing as much on your strength, so it kind of starts dropping down a bit. It goes down and down. It never really comes back down to average unless we really stop working on it. But you come down to this, you bring it, if you don't focus on the area of strength, it also will drop. This may go up a little bit, but even if it comes up to this point here and you start getting average, and even let's say this one comes up, the mere fact that this has dropped, your strongest one has dropped down, is telling me that we need to focus there. Because now imagine this. Let's say your strength is math, which is not my strength. That's kind of down here for me. But let's say your strength is math. And your weakness is reading. And so you really want to focus a lot on reading. You put a lot of attention, you put a lot of focus on reading. You start trying to learn how to read better and all this. And you're losing that focus of improving your math skills. So in this process of doing it, and we lose our focus of our strongest one, we're kind of starting to balance out in life where we're just kind of becoming mediocre on everything. And this has taken me some time to realize this is, forget being mediocre on everything. Excel at that thing that you just dominate at. I mean, you just dominate it. So if you are really good at math, then you just explode that. You just make it even stronger. And you get to the point where you're being able to do things that most people are like going, how the heck did you even think about that? I would have never thought about that equation or that solution. And for these things down here, what I've found is as you focus on these areas that are your strengths and you're able to help more people, you're able to find that strength to be able to help other people, you're energized, you're excited, you're compassionate, you have a lot more passion and love for life. And that makes it so that you are able to help other people even more. And because you're loving life, you can help other people start to love life. And as that starts spreading, it's contagious. It really is contagious. And so let's just say that this is where your focus at, and this gives you energy every day. Why wouldn't you want to wake up every day to do that one thing? It's just, whoa, it just makes you so excited, just energized. It's like doing these talks. I really never know what I'm going to do until I get on it. And then I've tried planning and laying things out. It just, for me, it doesn't work. I just got to get in front of the camera and boom, I go. And one of the things that I found is that as we focus on this area of strength, it just makes us that much better of a person. And then the solutions to these areas of weaknesses present themselves. Now, it may be in a way totally different than you ever thought, but it's so true. Now, obviously, if you're young and you're a student, you're going to school, you can't just focus on one area in the sense of, forget everything else. But you don't have to strive so hard to be perfect at that thing. Matter of fact, I'd say don't try to be perfect at that thing. Do your best you can, but then dominate at what you excel at. I mean, just dominate it. And if you do that, I think you're going to find much greater happiness. You're going to find much more passion for life. You're going to be excited to do what you're doing. And then as you start to do more of this, you'll discover that there's even other things that you're like, wow, I didn't realize that, okay, now I really love statistics. And then it takes you up here. You just never know where it's going to go as you dominate in that area. And so that's my challenge this week, is just to really focus on what you love to do. I mean, just focus on it. Really put more emphasis, more energy, more excitement, more drive to that thing you love to do. And as you do that, I can promise you that your energy will go up, your desire will go up, your ambition, everything will just go up, because then you're excited about life. And that will help answer that other question. If you're struggling with depression and other things like that, it gives you a little bit of energy. It gives you that extra boost, that excitement. Because when you're feeling depressed, the last thing you want to do is something that you don't want to do. If you're anxious about starting something and it's just something you don't really want to do, it just makes you go, bleh. For example, in one of the clients that I have right now, I have to do some cold calling. It was just part of the contract, and I hate it. I hate it. But getting in front of this, I'm like, yes. So at first when I started doing the cold call, I'm like, oh, and I'm rubbing my head, just going crazy about thinking about even doing it. But then I thought, life happens for us, not to us. So I thought, what can I learn from this experience? Well, I can learn to be a better salesman. It gives me an opportunity to practice my pitching, my ups and my downs, and to really resonate my voice and learn how to do different techniques. So it's actually now become kind of enjoyable to do. But I've taken that to something I love to do. Now, I challenge you. Find that area of something that you love to do. Write it down below. Share this video. Just help other people. Like I said, if I help one person, I've done a good job. And that's my goal, is just to help one person. And I hope you can focus on the area that brings you the most joy and excitement, and find passion for life. Find love in life. And then enjoy it to its fullest. That's all I've got for you this week. Next week, I'm going to talk about getting rid of stuff and increasing energies. So a little bit like we've already talked about here, but a little bit more so. We're going to talk about stuff and energy. And that's what we're going to be talking about. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great day. Bye.